The man was out feeding stray animals like he did every morning when something caught his attention near the old street drain. Small kittens were desperately trying to squeeze into the narrow opening, pawing at scraps of food that had fallen into the dirty water below. His heart broke watching these tiny babies struggle for every bite. Without hesitation, he opened his carrier and quickly pulled out fresh food and clean water. The moment he placed the bowls down, the hungry kittens rushed over and began eating like they had not seen a proper meal in days. They were so thin and weak that he could tell they had been surviving on garbage and dirty water for quite some time. Looking around carefully, the man searched every corner and hiding spot for their mother. Adult cats usually stay very close to their babies, especially when they are this young and helpless. Something was definitely wrong with this situation. He walked over to the security guard from the nearby building to ask if he had seen an adult cat in the area recently. The guard shook his head sadly and explained that about a week earlier, he had seen a mother cat with these same kittens. One night, she had disappeared and never returned to her babies. Since that day, these poor little ones had been trying to survive completely on their own, eating whatever scraps they could find and drinking from puddles on the street. The man felt deeply upset hearing this story. These were not just hungry animals, but orphaned babies who needed constant care and protection. At their young age, they should still be with their mother, learning how to survive and staying warm and safe. Instead, they were fighting for their lives in one of the most dangerous places possible for such small creatures. Cars could hit them easily since they were too small to move quickly. Other animals might hurt them because they could not defend themselves properly. Bad weather, diseases from dirty food, and cold nights were constant threats to their survival. They had no shelter and no one to teach them important skills they needed to live. Right at that moment, the man made an important decision that would change everything for these helpless babies. They deserved much better than living each day wondering where their next meal would come from, or if they would be safe through the night. Every animal deserves warmth, safety, regular meals, and most importantly, someone who cares about their well-being. Very gently, he picked up each kitten and placed them safely inside his rescue carrier. They were so small and scared, but seemed to understand that this person was trying to help them. As he prepared to take them to safety, the man thought about how different their lives would be from now on. No more eating from drains, no more sleeping in cold and dangerous places, and no more wondering if they would survive another day. This rescue reminded him why helping street animals was so important to his heart. Every single animal deserves a real chance at happiness and a good life. Sometimes it only takes one caring person who is willing to step up and take action when they see animals in need. These kittens went from having no hope for the future to having endless possibilities for joy and comfort. Their story shows how quickly things can change when someone decides to make a difference. What started as a regular morning of feeding strays turned into a life-saving rescue mission. These brave little survivors would now have the chance to grow up healthy, happy, and loved, instead of struggling just to stay alive on dangerous streets. If rescue stories like this touch your heart and make you want to help animals who need care, share your ideas for perfect names for these little fighters. Subscribe to see more amazing rescue stories that prove how powerful love and kindness can be when we choose to act.